Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Board of County Commissioners public hearing to consider the Rainbow Lakes Estate Municipal Services District. If you please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Chairman Zalek?
Here.
Vice Chairman Bryant?
Here.
Commissioner Moore?
Here.
Commissioner Gold?
Here.
Commissioner Stone?
Here.
All right, proof of publication.
Yes, sir. I have two proof of publications relating to the Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District. The first proof of publication is display ad entitled Notice of Proposed Tax Increase, published in the Star-Banner newspaper on September 17, 2017. The second proof of publication is also a display ad entitled Budget Summary, Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District, Fiscal Year 2017-18, published in the Star-Banner newspaper on September 17, 2017.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, Mr. Thomas, you'll start us off with the budget presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Michael Tomich, Budget Director in the Marion County Clerk's Office. Tonight's public hearing is the second of two public hearings required to be held pursuant to the provisions of Florida statutes prior to adoption of a budget and millage rate for the Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District. As such, this is a final budget hearing, and final adoption of the fiscal year 2017-18 millage rate and budget will be considered at this hearing. The Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District fiscal year 2017-18 final budget totaling $1,358,684 is scheduled for consideration by the Marion County Board of County Commissioners, duly constituted as the District Board of the Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District at tonight's public hearing. Procedures to be followed are set forth in Florida statutes. A summary of the fiscal year 2017-18 budget for the Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District is attached for your information. The taxing authority for the board's consideration this evening is the Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District. The percentage increase over the rollback rate is 4.59%. Specific purposes for the tax increase are an increase in repairs and maintenance for buildings and grounds of $27,740. The millage rate under consideration for levy tonight is 2.25 mils, same as the current fiscal year's millage rate. And the total budget under consideration is $1,358,684. I turn it back to the board at this time for board discussion and to allow for public comment.
All right, Commissioners, any questions for the Budget Director? Seeing none, we'll open it up to public. Anyone in the public like to speak in regard to the Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District? All right, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board for action.
Again, the taxing authority is the Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District. The rollback millage rate is 2.1513 mils. The percentage increase over the rollback rate is 4.59%, and the millage rate to be levied is 2.25 mils.
Thank you, Mr. Talmadge.
Motion to adopt the final millage rate by resolution of 2.25 mils.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bryant to adopt the final millage rate, second by Commissioner Moore. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Motion
Thank
to
you.
adopt the final budget by resolution of $1,358,684.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Bryant to move the final budget resolution, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 4.59%. I believe at this time,
I got it, Mr. Thomas. Yes. The administrator is going to present two additional items before the budget hearing.
Okay. Commissioner, I have, yes, two items to walk on for your consideration, please. Late yesterday, I received information from Heart of Florida and from our finance department that the Heart of Florida is requesting us to assist them in applying for the low-income pool program. They are suggesting that we take $195,555 from the proposed budget of $380,000, and we dedicate that money to the state of Florida to be used for that program. And in return, the state will apply for additional money from the feds, and in return, Heart of Florida will get back from the state about $500,000. We are the agency they are requesting that we apply on their behalf. The agenda item has all the details and the letter of agreement that is required by the state process. I request your recommendation and motion to approve.
So Commissioners, we need a motion to consider first.
Motion to consider?
Second.
Have a motion to consider by Commissioner Moore, second by Commissioner Stone. Any questions or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Well, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, this is kind of we need to take up this item while we were having a public hearing so that we could get public comment. This is in regard to the LIP funding. The LIP funding low-income pool has not actually been available for a few years, right, Mr. Clerk?
Yes.
And so the state is working through that process. Because of that, we had to take this up prior to our budget hearing so that we could look at this and discuss this because it could have some impacts on our final budget considering. So before we take any action on this, we'd like to invite the public to speak. If you'd like to speak to the funding of the Heart of Florida, which has been about $380,000, and their ability to take $195,500 of that and apply it to the LIP program in order to get back approximately $500,000 in LIP low-income pool funding. That's what we're considering at this time. If anybody in the public has any comments or would like to share with us any of their thoughts or opinions, we would appreciate you coming down to the podium at this time. Okay,
We have one.
we have one. Name and address for the record, please,
Good
sir.
evening. Rich Mutarelli, 1308 Southeast 14th Street, Ocala. I just want to thank the commission and the county administration for considering this last-minute request to receive some matching funds from the feds, maximizing local dollars, and frankly, to help support Marion County. So just want to express my appreciation and thanks to the commissioners and to the county administration and the clerk's office.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Thank
Mutarelli.
you.
Anyone else? All right, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board. Commissioners, going to have some discussion?
No, I mean, I want to make a motion to approve the letter of agreement made by the county on behalf of the Heart of Florida Health Center with the Agency for Healthcare Administrative supporting the low-income pool program for the provision of charity care in the county.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Bryant, second by, I
Everybody?
don't know who, Commissioner Gold. Discussion, I'd like to ask, yes?
Commission, one suggestion with the motion, if you would also include that the proposed budget be adjusted accordingly, please.
And
Okay.
let the record reflect the budget to be adjusted accordingly.
Okay. So, under the discussion, Commissioners, is there a reason why we can't reduce this a little bit? Certainly put that into some of the capital expenditures we're going to have to make at the sites in the future. Andy had a list of approximately over the next 4 or 5 years about $1 million worth of improvements that we would have to do. I think if we're going to use 200 grand out of the 380, that difference, at least that difference, would certainly be used to help improve the sites from a capital standpoint, and we should reduce some of the funding because they're going to get back a significant amount of funds. At least it's for discussion.
No.
No? No?
Mr. Clerk, what would that do to the amount that they would get back if we were to reduce the amount?
My
I'd reduce the
concern,
amount
and
here.
Mr. Gary and I haven't had conversations with the people in Tallahassee about this. My concern would be that the appearance of the board moving forward, and then once they've approved and got this money, then they reduce the funding to the agency. I'm not going to say that's going to be an awkward situation. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
What's the match?
The match is 195.
What, yeah.
I understand, but dollar,
For every 30 cent, you get 60 cent.
okay, thank you.
40 cent, you get 60 cent back.
40 cents.
39 and a change, you get 61 and a change.
He's rounding it for you. 40, 60.
I mean,
So if
I
we
think
give
they've done a
them,
good job of going out and finding the deficit that they've been looking for. And so, I mean, I don't,
I just wanted to bring it up because we're going to have the burden of those capital expenditures in the future. And so, if anybody operates out of those clinics that we currently have, I was just thinking that we could use some of that. I mean, it's $184,000 that we could actually use and put into over the next 3 years, or however long the LIP funding is. We could put that into the capital and make sure that those clinics, from a capital standpoint, are up and running, have new roofs, have new things. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. I just wanted to bring it up for discussion.
Right, we have those things built into our capital improvement plan already,
Okay.
parts of them.
Okay?
So,
You say so.
and also, I think that I think that there will be an opportunity in the future to be able to talk to DOH about some of that as well.
I'd like to see the funds go for services.
Right.
Okay.
Plus, they were one of the largest of the groups that asked for money, one of the largest ones that we didn't
We said.
give to. Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
We didn't give them their
In
increase
fact, we
they
took
asked.
that money and split it up in some others.
Okay, excellent. Any other questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. All right. We have one more walk-on item,
Motion to
Mr.
consider.
Administrator. So we have a motion to consider the request to modify the Section 8 of the interlocal service agreement with the City of Denellen for the provision of fire and emergency medical services, including fire prevention in and around the City of Denellen. I have a motion by Commissioner Moore, second. Well, hold on. Before I do that, let me take public comment. Sorry, guys. So this is just, quite frankly, a clerical error from the contract we had the other day. And so it was printed out without the $100,000 we agreed to participate with the City of Denellen on. Is that right, Commissioner Bryant?
And that's
Okay.
the adjustment in Section 8 of the agreement.
So we're adjusting that $100,000 to make the adjustment as we had talked about previously, and unfortunately, the paperwork just came out with a mistake. So to fix that, we're remedying it this evening. If anyone would like to comment on the funding for the Denellen City Fire Prevention Services that Marion County will be taking over from the City of Denellen, you please come to the podium at this
Point of
time.
order, we need the motion considered before we go into the.
Okay, motion for, was that just a motion for consideration?
Motion for consideration, exactly.
Sorry.
But we need to consider, and then we go to that. Just
I got
point
you.
of order.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Moore to consider, second by Commissioner Gold, right?
Yes, sir.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Now we'll take the public comment. Anyone want to publicly comment? All right, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board for action.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd just like to point out a couple of things. We took advantage of this opportunity to add in Section 2 that our commencement of services will be at 800 hours or 8 a.m. on October the
1.
1st.
Sure.
So that's when we're going to be there to take over the services in Dunellen. And we added the
The local codes.
provisions that the board asked us to add the other day. I think that's pretty much.
Regarding fire inspection and other services.
Right.
Okay. Any other changes of note?
Oh, one other minor change was the previous agreement had provided for the city to bring the firehouse up to ADA standards before we even occupied it. We've deleted that from that section and moved it down into within 12 months after we occupy.
Okay.
They're to use their best efforts to do the best they can within their capability to bring it up to ADA standards during that time.
Right, yeah, that may take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions for staff? Open up to the public for comment. Anyone in the public want to comment on the agreement with Denellen? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board for action.
Motion approved.
Have a motion to approve by Commissioner Moore, second by Commissioner Gold. Any other questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Hold on.
Well,
Yes, I'm
I'll
sorry.
just restate my position again, that I was not in
Apologize.
favor of the county accepting any additional expense for the deficit here.
Correct. All right. Any other questions or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes
A.
yeah, passes 4-1 with Commissioner Stone dissenting. All right. Now on to our public hearing to consider the final millage rates and budgets of Marion County. Madam Clerk, if you'll call the roll again for me.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, if you'll adjourn the Rainbow Lake.
Yes. So we're adjourned. Call to order? All right. All right. So, want to do the Pledge of Allegiance again, too? All right, we're good. Roll call, ma'am, please.
Yes, sir. Chairman Zalek?
Here.
Vice Chairman Bryant?
Here.
Commissioner Moore?
Here.
Commissioner Gold?
Here.
Commissioner Stone?
Here.
All right. Proof of publication?
Yes, sir. I have two proofs of publication. The first proof of publication is a display ad entitled Notice of Proposed Tax Increase, published in the Star Banner newspaper on September 17, 2017.
Okay.
The second proof of publication is also a display ad entitled Budget Summary, Marion County Board of County Commissioners, fiscal year 2017-18. The proposed operating budget expenditures of Marion County Board of County Commissioners are 13.2% more than last year's total operating expenditures. Published in the Star Banner newspaper on September 17, 2017.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Tomlich, budget presentation, please.
Michael Tomich, Budget Director with the Marion County Clerk's Office. Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. I have a letter to read into the record from David Elsperman, Clerk of the Circuit Court and Comptroller. Dear Commissioners, tonight's public hearings are the second of 2 public hearings required to be held pursuant to the provisions of Section 200.065, parens 2 Florida statutes prior to the adoption of a budget and millage rate by a taxing authority. As such, these are final budget hearings, and final adoption of the fiscal year 2017-18 millage rates and budgets will be considered at these hearings. Scheduled for consideration by the board at tonight's budget hearings is the final countywide budget in the amount of $444,987,795, as well as the budgets of various non-countywide entities in the amount of $195,348,685, for a total final budget of $640,336,480. It will be necessary for the board to hold a separate public hearing on each of the budget entities considered, except that a taxing authority may adopt the tax levies for all its dependent special taxing districts and may adopt the budgets for all of its dependent special taxing districts by a single unanimous vote. However, if a member of the general public requests that the tax levy or budget of a dependent special taxing district be separately discussed and separately adopted, the taxing authority shall discuss and adopt that tax levy or budget separately. The procedures to be followed at this public hearing, as set forth in Section 200.065 Florida statutes, are as follows. Announce the percentage of increase in the final millage rate over the rollback rate, if any. Discuss the specific purposes for the tax increase, if applicable. Allow comments from the public regarding the adoption of the final budget. Publicly announce the name of the taxing authority, the rollback rate, the percentage increase, and the millage rate to be levied. Adopt the final millage rate as revised by resolution. Adopt the final budget as amended by resolution. Publicly announce the percentage increase, if any, of the final millage rate over the rollback rate. For your assistance in finalizing the fiscal year 2017-18 budget, a public hearing schedule and budgets are attached for your information. Sincerely, David R. Elsperman, Clerk of the Circuit Court and Comptroller. The first portion of tonight's hearing will be regard to the countywide budgets and the several millage rates that are applicable to those budgets. It'll be during this portion of the meeting that public comment will be allowed, and that will be to address the millage rates for the general fund, the fine and forfeiture fund, the county transportation maintenance fund, the Marion County Health Unit Trust Fund, the Parks and Land Acquisition Debt Service Fund, and it does notably include the various operations of the county, including the county's ambulance service. It doesn't specifically include the fire rescue, which is in a separate fund to be discussed later in this meeting, but it does include all the budgets also for the constitutional officers, except for a portion of the sheriff's budget for the MSTU for law enforcement, which is a portion of the sheriff's budget for patrol and criminal investigation in non-countywide portions of the county. And it notably includes other operational budgets of the county, such as facilities management, the county's reserves, the sheriff jail and budgets. It has the, let's see, it also includes sheriff's regular budget, county transportation maintenance fund, and many of the county's transportation costs. And it does also include the county's solid waste disposal fund. And it does list all the various budgets on pages A1 through A7 of the handout. And that does tell you which budgets will be discussed in the first portion of this meeting. So again, when we get to the public comment portion, if those are budgets that the public cares to make a public comment on, their opportunity will be coming up soon. The taxing authorities for consideration are the general fund, the fine and forfeiture fund, the county transportation maintenance fund, The Marion County Health Unit Trust Fund, the Parks and Land Acquisition Debt Service Fund, as well as all other countywide budgets. The percentage increase over the rollback rate, the general fund, 8.36%. The fine and forfeiture fund, 3.8%. The County Transportation Maintenance Fund, 0%. The Marion County Health Unit Trust Fund, 3.81%. And the Parks and Land Acquisition Debt Service Fund is not applicable. It is a voted debt service levy. Specific purposes for the tax increase. For the general fund, it's the Facilities Health Department Air Handling Unit Replacement, $450,000. Judicial Center New Cooling Tower, $296,380. Human Resources Parking Lot, $200,000. Marion County Sheriff's Office Jail Complex Water Line Replacement, $250,000. Judicial Center Elevator Rebuild and Upgrades, $400,000. Public Defender Building Expansion, $950,000. Tax Collector Property Appraiser Building HVAC Upgrade, $250,000. Increased costs for employee health care coverage, $1,181,683. And increased costs in Florida Retirement System, $268,589. In the fine and forfeiture fund, the increase is in the sheriff bailiff operations of $67,950 and an increase in sheriff regular operations of $266,464. In the Marion County Health Unit Trust Fund, an increase in health department operations of $161,553. The village rates that are in consideration to be levied are 3.33 mils for the general fund, and the tax the rollback millage rate is 3.0731 mils. The percentage increase over the rollback rate is 8.36%. The millage rate to be levied is 3.33 mils. And a budget of $163,485,368 for the fine and forfeiture fund, a rollback millage rate of 0.5106 mils, and a millage rate to be considered of 0.53 mils and a budget of $10,620,529. The County Transportation Maintenance Fund, 0 mils and a 0% increase over the rollback rate and a budget of $56,193,184. For the Marion County Health Unit Trust Fund, a rollback millage rate of 0.1156 mils, percentage increase over the rollback rate of 3.81%, and a millage rate to be considered of 0.12 mils and a budget of $2,024,130. And for the Parks and Land Acquisition Debt Service Fund, a millage rate of 0.04 mils and a budget of $884,795,000, as well as other countywide budgets totaling $211,779,789. I turn it back to the board at this time for board discussion and to allow for public comment.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions for staff? Okay, seeing none at this time, we'll take some public comment. Anyone in the public like to comment on the general fund, fine and forfeiture, transportation maintenance unit, the Marion County Health Unit Trust Fund, the Parks and Land Acquisition, and all other countywide budgets?
How are you, sir?
Good afternoon.
I'm here representing the deputies of the jail and detention center, as well as
just name and address if you don't mind.
Michael Sachs, 6279 Southeast 8th Lane, Ocala, Florida, 34472.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm president of the Lodge 145 for the Marion County Sheriff's Office Fraternal Order Police.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. There's a storm coming to Marion County, and it's not Irma or Harvey. We don't need a state legislator that's passing the buck by cutting us homesteading taxes so that it forces you guys to raise taxes in another area. And that's exactly what's going to happen very soon if they do pass it. However, we don't need county commissioners that are passing the buck either. We need commissioners that are willing to make the tough decisions. Raising taxes is a serious matter. Your department had submitted a 5-year plan and suggested a larger millage increase was needed. We certainly don't need county commissioners passing the buck on that. We need to make sure that you're going to vote the way the county knows what you're supporting. If you wait till the end, as chairman gets to wait till the end, and you vote no, you're passing the buck to the other commissioners to make a difficult decision on the yes part of the vote, if you're sure it's going to go through. So your record will look clean, saying that you don't want the tax increase, but it passes the buck to the other commissioners, and it makes them look like they're the only ones wanting it. As a leader, I would hope that you guys would step in front of it and say, this is what the county needs, and that way we're not confusing the constituents. Unfortunately, a lot of constituents don't pay the attention that they need to the budget and what's going on. And we as leaders in this county need to help them to understand the positions that you guys hold. With that said, I hope that you guys will vote for a budget that will take care of the deputies in the jail as well as the deputies on patrol, and I appreciate the consideration that you're giving to it.
And by the way, I appreciate your comments, but at the end of the day, you know, it's pretty disingenuous just for the union to say, oh, you know, we should have passed this huge tax increase from a 5-year plan. And even some of the stuff you post talks about the fact that I propose to cut the salaries or all the budget, which is not true.
It is true. You submitted a piece of paper that
Be
said...
quiet for just a second. So all of the things I put together were all of the increases of everything from the entire budget process. They include all of the salaries and raises for all 3% of all constitutional officers, including the Board of County Commissioners. It includes all of the additional funding for outside agencies. It includes a transfer possibly of funds from a transportation side. It also includes the raises for the Board of County Commissioners. I've put all of those things in there because it's an increase. Put all of the information technology, facilities, animal services, all of the pieces that we're currently in need, all of the additional positions that were in the budget, including all of the capital costs for this year. So that if we were going to have a discussion, that we could have a discussion about all the changes that were made and look at them from a perspective. And all I simply did was move the sheriff from the ask to 3% increase across the board, just like every single other department submitted. That was my goal, is to look at it from that perspective. If we want to then give more, that's fine. But we need to have a starting point that we can have a rational discussion about raises and raising taxes. And I thought that I put together a platform which we could do that from. I didn't single out deputies or anybody else. I believe that they do a great job. And I think that you were just using your pulpit to try to position me in a bad light, which is unreasonable.
Can I respond?
Now you can.
You, in fact, at the last meeting, put out a suggestion that perhaps we should look at a 3% salary increase for the deputies rather than what was negotiated. You said it. Yeah. You also handed out a piece of paper. Excuse me. It's my turn now. You also handed out a piece of paper that said to the other commissioners, and it's listed on I think it's page 2 in there, that there is a suggested 3%, 2%, or even 1%. We negotiate with the sheriff. We don't negotiate with you.
That's correct.
And the sheriff, everybody has already commented, and we know that the sheriff has been an effective leader, and he's very good at what he does.
Sheriff's a great man. No one's disputing that.
He has handed you a 3-year pay plan for our deputies, where we need to be at the end of those 3 years so that we don't lose any more deputies. I have deputies on the road that are alone, single car, and their backup can be 30 minutes away. That is dangerous. This passing of the buck has caused a dangerous situation. And again, that's making you look like, oh, look, I'm commissioner and I want it to go lower, but I'm going to vote no, so I look good when I know that the deputies need this. You don't just get to throw out numbers like that and confuse people. If you believe in what the sheriff is saying, then back them up and say that they need to be at a certain salary. Let's not be confusing. Let's be clear in black and white.
And I fully understand your position, and I get why you do what you do. If I represented the union, I would say exactly what you say. And so the problem is that, with all due respect, that the $1.2 million ask in the general fund is significant. We need to look at it, right? It's not, and by the way, if I'll get the sheriff to verify if so, but I believe it's $1.2 million this year. It's probably another $1.2 million next year. It's probably another $1.2 million the year after that in the general fund alone. That's not even counting the increase to the MSTU for law enforcement. This board, over the last 8 years that I've had the pleasure of serving on or served on these budgets, have increased the sheriff's budget significantly, right? Do you know where the budget was at a few years ago?
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I can tell you
I got it for you.
I can tell you that over the 8-year period of time that you're speaking, that the salaries have not gone to competitive rates and we're way below the standards for Florida for exactly similar demographics and a tax base.
So if I have these numbers right, and Commissioner O'Brien and I have served on a bunch of boards and have raised the millage rates and the MSTU especially, But it's gone from $71 million total when I got here in 2010 to this year's budget with capital and surplus and sales tax added to it. So that is a caveat. So operations was $77,199 this year, plus the capital brings us to about $83,462,461. I'll have Jerry double check my numbers to make sure that I'm right. The highest sheriff's budget in the history of Marion County, if it passes this evening. With an increase of this year alone, with the surtax and everything else that's put into it, of over $6.3 million. I think that the county commission has shown that it cares about its deputies, that it has put these things forward, and you can't say that we haven't done anything. We've been trying, and we've been working hard. So I'm sorry that it can't get, unfortunately, I don't control where it goes once it goes over there to the other side the last years, right? I believe Sheriff Woods is going to do the right thing with what he has in the allocation. I honestly believe that. I believe he's a great man and will do the very best for this county. But at the other side, we need to treat our people right too.
Without a doubt.
We need to take care of our people. And this budget has a whole lot more people than just sworn deputies in it, doesn't it?
Without a doubt.
Absolutely. So everybody in the agency is going to move, even those that are not. But our folks sit over here on the other side and don't get those kind of raises, don't get those kind of settlements. They work just as hard. Our administrative assistants and everybody else from there up works their tails off for this community. And so I'm just looking for some fair, common sense decision making. I get the deputies and all that, but there's a whole lot more in there than just that. So, Commissioner Moore.
I just want to, let me point out something that might help out this back and forth, is at last budget hearing, I pointed out something where we could keep millage flat, give the sheriff exactly what he asked for, which takes care of those who take care of us. Because that's, regardless, we can say, and I agree, we have increased. Because there's that year that Commissioner Bryan and myself, we're kind of out, we had a first and a second, we went down on raising them for law enforcement, because we do need to take care of those who take care of us. They put their lives on the line every day for us, so we do need to take care of them. But there is a way, and I outlined it last time when we were here 2 weeks ago, how we can do it without increasing millage. But we can give the sheriff his ask, which is what we need to do, because we can say all day long about everything, but when you can go to Hernando County, when you can go even to the city of Ocala and be in the same line of work and still protect people and do what you love and do what God's called you to do, but you can make $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 a year more for the same thing. Or some of our people that are seasoned veterans can go and start at a new office, make more. That's just wrong. So I agree with you. Now, on the other side is, yes, we have made steps in the right direction. We need to go further. We need to give the sheriff his ask, and we can do that without raising millage. So it's not one or the other, because if we're willing to prioritize the budget, which I've been preaching, I guess this is year number 5 of preaching, let's prioritize the budget. And if we put public safety number 1, then we put public safety, then we put our libraries, we put our parks, animal control I consider in there with public safety. You put that up top. All the others can be negotiated underneath, but you put the top priorities in there. And it's just prioritizing budget. And I've said, I feel like a broken record. And I know, like Commissioner Bryant, I feel sorry for some of them. They've heard this 5th time they're hearing this, so I know it gets old hearing it. But if we prioritize the budget, we can take care of our deputies. And then thanks to the increase in property values and all, we do it this year without raising millage. But we do have to postpone some capital items. We do have to look at all options available, which 2 years ago I was in the situation where I put all options on the table, and I admitted that at that time of the 10 options, 6 were bad, and I got roasted for the 6 that were bad, even though I had caveated that 6 of them I didn't agree with. So you're getting hit a little bit for that. You should caveat, hey, maybe some of these are not the best ideas, like cutting the sheriff's budget, cutting his ask, I don't think is the best idea, but maybe you should caveat that. Because he needs what he needs.
If I may respond?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. I think I probably created a little history last time I was up here about a week ago at the last budget meeting, and when I said that I felt that all county employees needed a raise. I don't think you're going to get many heads of the Fraternal Order of Police to say that, but this county's in dire straits where everybody does need a raise. The fact that you're creating an us versus them, I don't appreciate that, because we support the employees of the county as well, and we believe in them, and we back them as well, because we work hand in hand with them. You're actually forcing the county's hand in a lot of positions where the employees are so underpaid in the county that they may want to go union. And I know you guys don't want that. I'm here to represent my people, put your feet to the fire, make sure things come clear. I appreciate the fact that this budget this year is going to pass. It looks like it's going to pass. I'm very scared about years 2 and years 3, which are negotiated, which we've agreed upon. The sheriff, in his opinion, has said that this is where his salaries need to be at the end of 3 years. Our experts, in our opinion, and me, have said that this is where it needs to be in 3 years. We've handed this to you because if in 3 years we're not, and somebody gets killed on the road, it's on us for not doing the right thing by this county. This hurricane was a perfect example. This is a Cat 1 hurricane that came through here, and this county was rocked. And that's because the infrastructure is too weak. We have to build up the workforce in this county and give these people what we deserve, or we're endangering our residents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else want to speak? All right, anybody else? We got one more podium down here if there's some more folks that want to speak. Good evening, Jim.
My name is James Pettis, 8447 Southwest 107th Lane, Ocala, Florida. If I start to stray too far out of the loop, bring me back in. I heard about we've been raising 8 years. The bulk of taxpayers in this county are seniors. Seniors have not had an increase in Social Security in 8 years. We're talking about the same money then. I appreciate the job that everybody does. You have a job. Those of us that worked for years, we did our job. But let's not try to differentiate so much that these people get a 3% raise, these get 2%, and we're still paying the same money. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Bill? Good evening.
I'm William Richart, 9300 Southwest 85th Terrace, Ocala. What I want to speak about is we always seem the property owners always have to pay for this. Now we have all these new developments here in all over Marion County. What's going to keep them from maybe nailing them with they're making money hand over fist? And I don't have anything about people making a profit because I mean that's what life's all about. But we have, I live on top of the world. We've got Mr. Cullen. We've got the guy who wants to build it, which you finally forestalled for a little bit, but he'll probably win. But you know, all these big developers that all want to build and build and build and build, why can't we start nailing them a little bit instead of hitting the property tax guys? That's just my opinion.
Well, and I appreciate that. That's a great question. So, and I appreciate the fact that, you know, Marion County has passed the sales tax for capital equipment, and that's the way you get sales tax on building supplies and those kind of things. Anyone else? All right, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board.
All right, ready?
We're ready, sir.
Well, let me make a motion for 3.19 if you don't mind.
Oh,
I'm
hold
going
on.
to make a comment. I'm going to make a comment.
Okay, so which one of you guys are going to make the motion after he tells us the rates?
I'm not going to make it 3.19.
Okay, so Mr. Tomlich?
The taxing authority, the first taxing authority for consideration is the general fund, a rollback millage rate of 3.0731 mils. Percentage increase over the rollback rate, 8.36%. The millage rate to be levied, 3.33 mils.
Hey, Michael, does anything have to change at this time in regard to the LIP funding?
No, that is a zero-sum difference, so the total budget remains the same. It's just a portion of that money is going to be coded for expenditure to the state.
To the state, okay. So nothing else has to be manipulated or changed today?
Correct.
Okay.
We'll reflect the detail, but the resolution today is the total amount, and that remains the same.
All right. Anybody? Yeah, whoever's going to go.
I'll make a motion for 319. I'll just explain it once again. If we postpone capital items, which was actually in your thing, and then also the 1 year only adjustment to economic development, there is a way to keep it at 319. That fully funds the sheriff's ask, that fully funds our fire rescue, that gives the 3% raises for our employees, that takes care of our libraries, takes care of our parks, takes care of animal control, takes care of everybody that's on general fund, and gives them what they need without increasing taxes. We can do it if we have the desire to do it, so I'll make a motion for 319.
Motion by Commissioner Moore for 3.19. Commissioner Bryant?
I just want discussion, not a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So can you lay out for me what you want to cut, Commissioner Moore?
Sure. We can postpone capital items. We can.
Which capital items exactly?
Okay, let's go into, let me find that other page here. But we can basically do everything except for the, if you want, there's a whole range. We can go from 1.15.
I don't want
Yeah,
a
but
range.
I'm
I
going
want
up
you
to 2.3 million.
identify which ones you would prioritize to take
Well,
out of the budget.
The one I would prioritize to leave in would be the elevators. But after that, I'm good with negotiating any of them. But, you know, the elevators I think are crucial, so I would leave the elevators in. But,
There's plenty there to.
you know, there's plenty there to work with. So, you know, you tell me which ones you would like to take out, which ones you want to leave in, because I'm good with postponing everything except for the elevators.
And I say
Which
this
is
with.
more than 1.15 million.
I say this with no disrespect. I mean, what you've laid out is a blanket cut. I just want to know which ones you would cut, which ones you would recommend to cut.
Okay, well,
Are you saying all but the elevators, or what?
well, we can go down through here. We could,
Well, it certainly
the
does
human
it.
resources, if you want me to be on record saying, hey, I want to cut the human resources parking lot, I'll do that, because that's what you're telling me. But yeah, okay.
We should get rid of that one anyway. So can we cut that?
Yeah, because Amanda really hates well, she won't be here anyway.
take
She's
some
going out on
hedges.
maternity leave, so she won't notice her parking lot for a while anyways. But, but on a
When you
serious-
come back, it'll be different,
Yeah.
Amanda.
But we can go through everything. The only one that I would leave in there that I think is kind of crucial is the judicial center elevator, which is 400,000. Now, beyond that point, I'm willing to negotiate the rest of it. So
How
I'm
about the pipe for the jail?
the pipe for the jail.
repair jail?
We can negotiate
repair?
that. Yeah,
How can you negotiate
Has
it?
it as a cut.
Ah, that's it.
but
The property, at the property appraisers, the air conditioning at the health department. I looked at what your
yeah. So, I
capital
mean,
projects.
we can do any of them. There's only 400,000 that I think is crucial. Beyond that, and that's of 2 point whatever that was. Let me flip over to my other page. That's $2.3 million. Only 400,000 is crucial. So we have $1.9 million worth that we can play with. You know, and we don't
Plus,
have to
then how
use
much
all
in
that.
economic development?
Plus, I was going to take $500,000 out of economic development, but 1 year only out of economic development of $500,000. But we also can. That's a number we can go up and down on too. You know, if there's a appetite on the board to prioritize, we can prioritize.
I'd also be interested in knowing, do you have a buyer for the 21.45 acres of Sharker Park?
No, but I'm pretty sure we could. I'm in real estate. I'm pretty sure that if we put that out for sale, we would have a buyer.
I got a realistic question. Mr. Administrator, are any of the items that are in the capital budget, or I'm not putting you out in front of her, are any of these, things that aren't needed? Are these critical needs or needs that have to be done?
Commissioner, we have been delaying those projects for several years, and they would not be.
All of them are been delayed.
They would
Yes.
not be in the budget if we did not think that they are needed.
And I know you made a joke, which I don't think any of this is a joke, to be honest with you, but the parking lot at Human Resources, if you go over there, that's also the clinic, which is a dirt paved, or dirt whatever, that you got people who are walking in there with injuries, walking through ruts. We're putting ourselves at liability. So even just the small things, these are, I'm gonna put this right real quick. Just, I know you cut Mike off a couple times. I'm going to support the 3.33 budget when it comes up. I'm not going any lower. I don't, whatever the ramifications are, so be it. There will be no 3.32 or anything from there. I support the sheriff's office, what he needs to get it up there, because I've been out there. The other commissioners who have rode understand that. Law enforcement, all the employees that we have here, we're losing millions of dollars in overtime. We're losing employees constantly. Our job is to make this safe, make the community safe, to make Marion County safe. And it's not just the law enforcement and the fire department that's doing this. We found out this week how important it is for us to have the people out there trimming the trees, because I think probably about everybody in this room lost power at some point. And I know I did for 7 days, and I'm not blaming it on the trees, but we got workers out there constantly that are cutting stuff down. We get complaints all the time, not enough deputies. We get them, we pass them on to the sheriff, he likes them, I'm sure, to get them. We get those, we get the ones now, it's mosquitoes, because we've cut things out. We've cut hundreds of employees, hundreds of people from the sheriff's office, hundreds from the fire department over the past years, hundreds of our workers. It's not fluff. I understand that people paying taxes, it's hard to do. I own several properties. I don't want to see paying myself either, but I also want to make sure that everybody in this county is safe. And we keep losing people, it's just not working. And then to wait until the last night to do this and to try to make these cuts, I don't understand. We were brought before when this board asked all the constitutional officers, all the entities that came to us to give a 5-year budget, because we know we're going to look at $6 or $7 million in losses coming up next year from the homestead exemption, most likely. We're looking at that coming. So what was proposed? They worked over the weekend, came back with a 4.5 something mil. I think we looked at it for a couple minutes and went on. We went down to where Mr. Tomich said we needed 3.41 to be able to maintain what we had, and now it's at 3.4. And I give, you know, Commissioner Bryant and Mr. Tomich and Mr. Ellsperman credit for being able to look at and get it down to 3.3, but that's the bare bones, because, you know, we're lucky that you're able to be in an area where, you know, we have services that go out there. We're lucky. We're the 5th lowest county in the state by millage rate. 5th lowest out of 67 counties. That's pretty good that we're looking at to be able to provide the services. And if anything, if we're going to negotiate, I think we need to look at our budget first. That would be item 1005, and look at our commission budget. So if we're going to start cutting, we'll start cutting there. And I'm sure there'll be some more, but that's my opinion, and I'll listen to everybody else's stuff, but I'm not going to be below the 3.33.
Oh, I'm good with.
All right, so there's a motion on the floor for 3.19. Commissioner Bryant, let me pass the gavel so I can second it. Oh, I don't even need to. I'll second it. Any other questions or comments? I do agree that we can prioritize the budget, get the budget flat, and we can represent our citizens well and keep their millage rate the same. So, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
So that fails with 2 to 3, with Commissioners Stone, Bryant, and Gold dissenting. Take another motion.
Make a motion to adopt the final millage rate by resolution of 3.33.
Second.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner Bryant to adopt the final millage rate of 3.33. Second by Commissioner Stone. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye.
Opposed.
That passes 3 to 2, with Commissioners Zalek and Moore dissenting.
Motion to adopt the final budget by resolution of $163,485,368.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner Bryant for the final budget resolution. Second by Commissioner Stone. Any other questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Aye. That passes 3 to 2, with Commissioners Moore and Zalek dissenting.
Percentage increase
Go ahead, sir.
over the rollback rate is 8.36%. The next taxing authority for the board's consideration is the fine and forfeiture fund with rollback millage rate of .5106 mils. Percentage increase over the rollback rate 3.8%. Millage rate to be levied 0.53 mils.
Same millage rate as last year, correct, Mr. Tomlich?
Correct.
Okay. Commissioners, any discussion on the fine and forfeiture?
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Commissioner Moore.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Bryant. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Motion to adopt final budget by resolution of $10,620,529.
Motion by Commissioner Moore to adopt the final budget resolution. Second by Commissioner Stone. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Percentage increase over the rollback rate 3.8%. The next taxing authority for the board's consideration is the County Transportation Maintenance Fund with rollback millage rate of 0 mils. An increase over the percentage increase over the rollback rate of 0%, and the millage rate to be levied 0 mils.
Motion to, or I'll let you go ahead, Commissioner.
Motion to adopt the final millage rate by resolution at 0.0 mils.
I have a motion by Commissioner Stone, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Motion to adopt the final budget by resolution of $56,193,184.
Second.
By resolution.
I have a motion by Commissioner Stone, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
The percentage increase of the rollback rate is 0%. The next taxing authority for the board's consideration is the Marion County Health Unit Trust Fund with a rollback millage rate of .1156 mils, a percentage increase over the rollback rate of 3.81%, and a millage rate to be levied of .12 mils.
Motion to adopt final millage by resolution of .12 mils.
Motion by Commissioner Moore, second by Commissioner Stone. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Motion to adopt final budget by resolution of $2,024,130.
Motion by Commissioner Moore, second by Commissioner Stone to adopt the final budget resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Percentage increase over the rollback rate, 3.81%. The next taxing authority for the board's consideration is the Park and Land Acquisition Debt Service Fund, a millage rate to be levied of .04 mils.
Final millage rate by resolution at .04 mils.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Moore, second by Commissioner Stone.
No, Stone, then
Oh.
second. You got that.
Stone and then Moore? Okay. So I have a motion by Commissioner Stone, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Motion to adopt the final budget by resolution of $884,795.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Stone, second by Commissioner Moore. Adopt the final budget by resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
And then all other countywide budgets not associated with an ad valorem millage rate of $211,779,789.
Need a motion to adopt the final budget by resolution?
Motion to adopt the final budget by resolution for all other countywide budgets of $211,779,789.
Motion by Commissioner Stone, second by Commissioner Gold. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Just by way of announcement, the total countywide final millage rate is 4.02 mils, and the total countywide final budget is $444,987,795. The next taxing authority for the board's consideration is the Municipal Service Taxing Unit for Law Enforcement. It has a percentage of increase over the rollback rate of 3.76%. Specific purposes for the tax increase: an increase in Sheriff Patrol and criminal investigation operations of $2,029,929. The millage rate to be levied is at 3.47 mils, same as the current fiscal year. I'll turn it back to the board for discussion and to allow for public comment.
All right. Next up, we have the MST for law enforcement. Any other questions or comments? Anyone want to make any comments? You can come right here, sir.
Good evening again. Michael Sachs, 6279 Southeast 8th Lane, Ocala, Florida, 34472. Again, thank you, Commissioners. First of all, I want to make sure that I'm clear with this. I am thanking you guys for what you're doing with the budget for this year. I am very worried about the next 2 years that we have in our plan for the salaries for the Sheriff's Office, and I hope that you guys are going to do the right thing by that. I want to make it clear that we care about the seniors in this county. We're not looking to hurt anybody with tax increases. If we do the proper reasonable increases, we keep attracting a young workforce, which will make this county have a good tax base that can support everything it needs to support. Right now, our property values have slid a bit. They're coming back, but they're below what a lot of other counties are. Now, we've also talking about comparisons in salaries and in different demographics. I just want to point out that the commissioner's salaries all just went up. All the constitutional officer salaries just went up. When we compare that to other counties, we're pretty high in the salary base with that. But when we compare what we're paying our people on the ground, we're way below where we should be. I don't think that's fair, and I think that needs to be looked at as well. If we're looking at cuts should come from the top too. Thank you.
Sure.
I just want to point out that in previous years, we weren't able to give out a pay raise, and that myself and Commissioner Bryant did turn back our raises, you know, at that time when Tallahassee gave us. This year, since we were able to give 3%, you know, we agreed on the spending side. I don't think we agreed on the revenue side so much. But, you know, we agreed on giving 3% to our employees and also giving even more to their sheriff. You know, so I don't see us giving it back this year because we did give. But if we were not able to, I would have turned back my increase that Tallahassee gives us because we don't set our salaries. You know, but I agree. And that year I had to actually change an ordinance to make it where we were able to give back our salaries, because I went to Clerk Elchburn's office and the lady told me I couldn't hand her the check, and I thought she was joking. Found out, no, she was serious, and I had to change ordinance, so I actually could do that. But now thanks to that, what was that, 4 years ago, I think it was? We now can do that, but, if we hadn't been able to, I would more than be willing to turn back, part or all of that pay increase.
Always be donated.
Oh, I will, if you want.
Right to the FOP.
I've given it to the Employee Morale Recognition Fund before. I have no problem giving back a portion of my salary to let the employees know how much we appreciate them. Let our deputies know how much we appreciate them. Fire rescue, how much we appreciate them. Jay Boardman's sitting back there, I think. He's kind of over there in the corner, but we've got people here that go and keep us safe. So we appreciate it. Whatever it takes to let people know that we appreciate them, I'm willing to do that. And I'm pretty sure probably anyone on this board is willing to do what's necessary to let you know you're appreciated.
I appreciate that. I also want to point out, I know you mentioned about the FOP. We are a charitable organization, and not one board member makes a dime for doing what we do. We're here because we believe in our people, and we know what they need to survive in the county and actually make a workable living where we're not putting people in danger. But we appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing this year, and we just hope that you're going to do what's necessary for the next 2 years for the sheriff's budget, what he submitted. With that said, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs. Yep.
And Mr. Sachs, I mean, I think we all have a major concern about what's going to happen next year in the November election with that additional homestead exemption being on the ballot. So with that said, I can assure you that when we do start going to Tallahassee this year and when we start talking, we're also probably going to be talking about alternative ways of bringing in revenue. As we said at our last meeting, I think we can all agree that we don't think that property taxes and ad valorem is the fairest way to fund our government. And so we're always looking at that. For the last several years, we've talked to the state legislature about possibly letting us have a hybrid method, sales tax, ad valorem, where we would be able to reduce ad valorem and have a sales tax instead. We actually got somebody in the House to carry it for us last year. We couldn't get somebody in the Senate, but it's something that we've worked on for the last several years. And I can assure you, with what we've seen come out of Tallahassee last legislative session and with what we know is going to come out of Tallahassee in the next legislative session, we're going to be looking for alternative funding mechanisms.
Well, I sit on the legislative committee for the state FOP. If there's anything I can do to assist you guys, the offer's out there, working together, being good leaders, maybe we can get something done.
Great.
Thank you.
You guys should definitely take up the fact that we should be able to fund a sales tax for public safety equipment, that equipment, we should also be able to put the people in it.
Oh, we're in complete agreement with that. And if you want, I'll meet with you on that.
No, that's really, I mean, it's what we've been trying to do, so we need to get it done.
Okay. I'll meet with you on that.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs. Okay. Anyone else in the public want to comment on the MSTU for law enforcement? All right, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board for action.
I'll make a motion to adopt final millage rate by resolution 3.47 mils.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Gold, second by
Wait,
Commissioner
I'm
Moore.
sorry.
Got to read it.
I do have to
A
read.
little faster, Michael.
I'm not totally on my game.
All right.
I have the flu right now.
Okay. Almost
All
feel
good
bad.
fun. The taxing authority is the MSTU for law enforcement. The rollback millage rate is 3.3444 mils. The percentage increase over the rollback rate is 3.76%. The millage rate to be levied is 3.47 mils.
Now, they're ready for a motion by Commissioner Gold
Second.
of 3.47 mils, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. All right.
I'll
Marion
make a
Oaks
motion
MSTU.
to adopt final budget resolution, $46,303,352.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner Gold, second by Commissioner Stone. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Percentage increase over the rollback rate, 3.76%. The next taxing authority for the board's consideration is the Marion Oaks Municipal Service Taxing Unit. Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 5.48%. Specific purposes for the tax increase is a decrease in available fund balance carry forward of $309,405. And the millage rate that's under consideration is 1.02 mils, which is the same as the current year. And I'll turn it back to the board at this time for discussion and allow for public comment.
All right, Commissioners, any questions for staff? Seeing none, we'll bring it open to the public. Anyone in the public like to talk about the Marion Oaks MSTU? I don't know. All right, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board for
Taxing
Michael's.
authority is the Marion Oaks MSTU. The rollback millage rate is 0.9670 mils. Percentage increase of the rollback rate is 5.48%. Millage rate to be levied is 1.02 mils.
All right.
Make a motion to adopt final millage rate by resolution 1.02 mils.
I have a motion by Commissioner Gold, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Adopt the final budget by resolution of $1,540,868.
Second.
All right, have a motion by Commissioner Bryant, second by Commissioner, who was that? Moore? Stone?
Either one.
Commissioner
They
Stone?
were about the same.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 5.48%. The next taxing authority for the board's consideration is the Silver Spring Shores Special Tax District. Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 4.79%. The specific purposes for the tax increase, improvements for American with Disabilities Act compliance, $33,094. And the millage rate under consideration is 3 mills, and it is the same as in the current year.
Okay. Anyone in the public like to speak in regard to the Silver Spring Shores Taxing District, Special Tax District? All right, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board.
Taxing authority is the Silver Spring Shores Special Tax District with a rollback millage rate of 2.8628 mills. Percentage increase over the rollback rate of 4.79%, a millage rate to be levied of 3 mills.
Motion to adopt final millage rate by resolution, 3 mills.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Moore, second by Commissioner Gold. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Motion to adopt final budget by resolution of $1,070,714.
Motion by Commissioner Moore, second by Commissioner Gold. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 4.79%. The next taxing authority for the board's consideration is the Rainbow Lakes Estates Community Resource Facility Municipal Service Tax Unit with a percentage increase over the rollback rate of 5.62%. Specific purposes for the tax increase is an increase in repairs and maintenance for buildings and grounds, $22,225. The millage rate under consideration is 0.47 mills, which is the same as in the current fiscal year.
Any questions, Commissioners? Anyone in the public that want to comment about the Rainbow Lakes Estates Common Residential Facility, MSTU? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board. Hold on. Michael first.
I'm sorry. Taxing authority is the Rainbow Lakes Estates Community Resource Facility, MSTU. Rollback millage rate is 0.445 mills. Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 5.62%. Millage rate to be levied is 0.47 mills.
All right, Commissioner Stone.
Adopt the final millage rate by resolution of .470 mills.
Motion by Commissioner Stone,
Second.
second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Adopt the final budget by resolution of $123,344.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Stone, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 5.62%. The next taxing authority is the Hills of Ocala Municipal Service Tax Unit for Recreation. Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 5.51%. Specific purposes for the tax increase in funding for capital improvements, $2,500. And the millage rate for under consideration is 0.18 mills, and it is the same as the current fiscal year.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions? Anyone in the public want to comment on the Hills of Ocala MSTU for recreation? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to Michael.
Taxing authority is the Hills of Ocala MSTU for recreation. Rollback millage rate 0.1706 mills. Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 5.51%. The millage rate to be levied is 0.18 mills.
Ready?
All right. I need a motion.
Adopt the final millage rate by resolution of .18 mills.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Bryant, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Adopt the final budget by resolution of $39,834.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Bryant, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Percentage increase over the rollback rate, 5.51%. The next taxing authority for the board's consideration is the Fire Rescue and Emergency Medical Services Fund. Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 3.72%. Specific purposes for the tax increase is an increase in personnel expenditures, $1,798,355. The millage rate to be levied is 0.77 mills, and it is the same as in the current fiscal year.
Okay. Any questions for staff, Commissioners? Seeing none, we'll open it up to the public. Anyone in the public want to speak on the Fire Rescue EMS Fund? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to Michael.
The taxing authority is the Fire Rescue and EMS Fund. The rollback millage rate is 0.7424 mills. Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 3.72%. Millage rate to be levied is 0.77 mills.
Make a
Adopt them.
motion to adopt the final millage rate by resolution of .77 mils.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Stone, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Should we interject here that we thank our fire rescue for the hard work and dedication also, since everything's kind of been on sheriff? We want to let our fire rescue know that they're greatly appreciated as well.
I make
Thank
a
you,
motion
Commissioner
to
Moore.
adopt the final budget by resolution of 49,388,
49
excuse me,
million.
$49,388,732.
I want to shortchange them.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Stone, second by Commissioner Gold. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Percentage increase over the rollback rate is 3.72%. And then finally, all of the remaining budgets, non-countywide budgets that are not related to ad valorem tax rates can be adopted by the board.
Thanks for being with us, Sheriff. We appreciate it.
Thanks, sir.
You can still stay, though.
I mean, yeah, if you want to stay, I just figured
They're being
you got better
very
things
polite.
to do. Thank you. Did you want to speak? Come on.
I think Mr. Tomich did.
Absolutely. Give us 1 second, Mr. Tomlich.
Problem.
Thank you. This is the way government's supposed to work. I would personally want to tell you I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate you listening. We may not always agree, but I appreciate what you've done, and I do understand. And we will continue to move forward of what we're doing to make this county great. So thank you. And this is for you, Mr. Moore.
Booyah!
Oh, we got rid of the caca, though. That's
Oh.
good.
Okay. Before our sheriff leaves, I want to thank him for being somebody that did exactly what he said on the campaign trail. The budget he turned in matched what he said on the campaign trail. So thank you for keeping your word, sir.
Thank you. All right, Michael Tomlich.
Remaining budgets not associated with the millage rate, their non-countywide budgets can be adopted by the board in a single unanimous vote. So if we can anticipate a single unanimous vote, and also that none of these budgets would be requested by the public to be considered separately. So in order to confirm that, I will quickly read through the budgets under consideration, and then if anyone from the public wants to discuss one of these separately, we can do that. If not, then the board then has the opportunity to adopt them en masse in a single unanimous vote. The budget entities under consideration are the Building Department Fund, the Local Housing Assistance Trust Fund, Impact Fee Trust Funds District 1, 2, 3, and 4, as well as the East District and West District. Rainbow Lakes Estates Fire Protection MSBU, the Fire Rescue Impact Fees Fund, Stormwater Program, Marion Oaks MSTU for General Services, the Marion County Utilities Funds, the MSTU for Road Improvement Funds for Rainbow Lakes Estates, Lake Tropicana, Golden Hills Turf and Country Club, Pine Run Estates, Silver Spring Shores, MSBU, Kingsland Estates and Ocala Waterway MSBU, Spring Pine Forest Glen MSBU, Marion Oaks MSBU, Silver Springs Acres MSBU, the MSBUs for road maintenance for Ocala Waterway Estates, Northwest 17th Avenue Northwoods, Rainbow Parks Units 1 and 2, Stonecrest Center, Deer Path Estates Phases 1 and 2, Woods and Lakes Subdivision, the Paradise Farms MSBU for road mowing, the MSTUs for general services for the Doublegate Subdivision, the Raven Hill Subdivision, the Rainbow's End MSTU, Wineberry, Golden Hills Turf and Country Club, Delcrest Subdivision, Beller Subdivision, Tompkin and George's addition to Dunallen, Country Estates Buffington, Citrus Park. The following MSTUs for street lighting for Indian Meadow, Ocala Heights, Bahia Oaks, Boardman, Hickory Hill Subdivision, Churchill Subdivision, Lake Weir Edgewater, Boulder Hill Subdivision, Silver Springs Community Redevelopment Area Trust Fund, and the Road Assessment Program Bond Series Debt Service Funds for Bond Series 2007B, 2008B, 2009A, 2010A, 2011A, 2012A, 2013A, 2014A, 2015A, and 2016A, and the Road Assessment Capital Projects Funds for Bond Series 2015A and 2016A and 2017A. And these funds can be adopted in the aggregate amount. Well, first, if the chairman may,
Yes, let's find out.
it.
Commissioner, any questions from the commission side? All right, seeing none, anyone in the public want any one of those particular budgets pulled? Okay, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board.
the aggregate amount is $96,881,841 for adoption by resolutions.
Approve all of those budgets in the amount of $96,881,841.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bryant, second by Commissioner Gold. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
That concludes the requirements.
Okay. Commissioners, any other discussion or comments relevant to this evening's
I'd like to make
proceeding?
one comment real quick.
Yep.
Just, I know a lot of people probably sit out there and think we fight, and I said this one time before, no matter what goes on up here, and we don't always agree when we leave here, we always get along as much as we can. We don't get to talk to each other. Not singling out to the two that didn't vote along the way they did, but I know this is especially hard for those who, you know, may be running or always, I guess we're always running for something. I know that raising taxes is especially hard, and I know that there's probably going to be a couple people that get attacked for doing that. And Commissioner Bryant, thank you for what you did here. This is the safety of people. Commissioner Stone, thank you. It's going to be hard that people will look at this and, you know, say that you raise taxes and everything, and I'll be the first one to say that it was a needed thing, and, you know, it'd be wrong to attack either one of you for it. So that's my opinion.
Well, appreciate that. Commissioner Moore?
I just want to echo that. It's nice that we get along together. And one thing I really appreciate about this board is it gets public safety. It gets that we need to put those who take care of us first. Now, we had two different routes of getting there. Actually, we had three different routes because I think Commissioner Zalk and I weren't exactly 100% agreed on that, even how we were getting there, but we were on the same side of the island, so thank you for joining me on the island this year.
You're welcome.
2 years ago, I was on the island all by myself, so, but.
I guess I needed an island break.
Yeah, you need an island break. Feels good to be on the island, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing is, why I like is this board gets it about public safety, that we do need to put those who take care of us first. And it's really, it's a breath of fresh air. So to the new ones coming on the board, it's so greatly appreciated. Commissioner Bryant, thank you so much. Even though I may not agree with the tax increase, I do agree that we do have to put our people first, and, you know, and I'm just really, I do like how this board gets along and how we do stand up and we don't walk away mad.
All right, Commissioner Bryant, you have a comment?
I'm just going to quickly say thank you, Mr. Chair, for leading us through the budget process. This year has been different. I don't think there's been many times that you and I haven't agreed. And so
come over to the island. We got an island over here now.
It's mainland if she joins us.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, you and I have seen a lot in the last 8 years.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just appreciate your leadership this year as well.
Excellent. Any other comments? Not from the attorney.
Oh, come on.
I didn't ask that. Yes. Yeah. Were those legal comments?
Before I say
Yeah, can we do this all over? Mr. Chair, just to let you know, from the board meeting on Tuesday, the board approved a TPO Suntran agreement with the city and the TPO, and that agreement, as written, approved a term from October 1 of this year through September of 2022. The next day, which was yesterday, Pat Gilligan, the city attorney, called me and said when it went to the city council, they were concerned with some of the details and they wanted some more time to evaluate it. So they approved it, but instead of approving it through 2022, they approved it only for 6 months through April of 2018. And so they've sent it back to us with initials on it. So I don't know if you want this to be put on an agenda or if there's a consensus of the board for you to be able to just approve it with the 6-month time period.
Yeah, we'll just take it from 2022 down to the 6 months.
Yeah, it's through April.
All you need is consensus for that?
I think so.
Okay. Yes?
The board approved the substance of the agreement.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine with me, commissioners?
Sure.
Okay, everybody agrees. Thank you, Mr. Minter.
And Commissioner, I had a discussion with the TPO director regarding this matter, and we have some concern about certain section of the agreement, which that was great that it's only for 6 months.
Okay.
It will give us a chance to review those sections.
Thank you, Munir. Okay, any other question or discussion that needs to be had? Seeing none, we'll be adjourned. Thank you.